What's going on, guys? Super here, back with another build video, and today I'm finally making a Titan video. um Still haven't finished the Lightfall campaign, but I took my boy through the raid and it was a fun time, and I took this build through the first few encounters before I switched off the Thunder Crash, and I think this build's fire, and I think it is going to be absolutely fantastic once we get into GM Nightfalls coming up soon, and then also just proper leveled for, running Masters consistently. But anyway, let's get into the build here. It's going to be using Hammer of Soul. I prefer, obviously, I would use the throwing hammer since this is a Syntheseps build. More than likely, I mean, you could use Hammer Strike, but I don't really recommend it. I think throwing hammer is probably gonna be your best bet. I prefer Healing Grenade. I think Healing Grenade's fantastic. You can use whatever you want here. I like it just for some extra heals. I think it's great, even though this is already giving me healing from the cure and then also from Soul Invictus. I like that extra little bit of safety there, because this is just meant to be like a support but also damage build together. For the aspects here, you're going to be taking Roaring Flames. Final blows with solar abilities or ignitions increase the damage of your solar abilities in stacks 3 times. And then Soul Invictus, solar ability final blows, Hammer of Soul impacts, and defeating scorched targets creates sunspots. Your abilities regenerate faster, and your super drains more slowly while standing in a sunspot. And the sunspots will also apply Scorch and deal damage to targets inside entering a sunspot, applying Restoration, which is really, really nice. So let's get into the fragments here. You can really pick and choose what you want with this. I'm not sitting here trying to say this is the end all be all, but this is what I preferred, and I was having a banger time within the raid, and I really enjoyed it. First fragment here is going to be Ember of Eruption. Your solar ignitions have increased area of effect. And then Ember of Torches, powered melee attacks against combatants make you nearby allies radiant. So basically, every time I just hit an enemy with a hammer, all of my weapons, unless they have another mod on them, just instantly get anti-barrier. And this was awesome in the raid, because I just hit an enemy, and then, oh, the anti-barrier is up, I just shredded him with the machine gun. And it was so good, man. Next one, it's actually going to work in with the first one, is Ember of Combustion. Final blows of the solar super cause targets to ignite and creates a fire sprite. These two are a little bit obscure to kind of have, especially this one. I don't see much people use this that often, but I really like it as just add clear fragment. And I know it doesn't really work into the passive game. It only works with the super, but it allows me to basically pop my super and then just destroy groups of enemies in just 1 to 2 hammers, because then I kill one ignites, it spreads that large ignition explosion to other enemies, and it's so good, man. And then lastly, Ember of Ashes. You apply more scorch stacks to targets, which I think will be nice in case like a bigger enemy gets in a sunspot or anything like that, so they can just constantly build up scorch stacks and possibly ignite. So that's always good. I think this is just a must-have pretty much in all solar builds. You could replace it for something else. Maybe, Radiant Restoration effects applied to have increased duration, possibly, or, like basically keeping them up infinitely. But I don't really think you need to, because you're already going to be proccing both Radiant and Restoration pretty much infinitely with Throwing Hammer, as long as you're just getting a singular kill. With ×3 Roaring Frames, it ain't that hard. Plus Syntheseps, it ain't that hard. Now on to the armor here. Syntheseps, obviously, because just increase damage. That's pretty much it. These things will boost your hammer damage a good bit, to the point where you're just deleting stuff. I was in the raid and I was 2-hitting anti-barrier champs with my throwing hammer. That's a lot of damage. Like, this was really good. Now for the mods, since this is kind of going to be focused around the artifacts, so this is going to be specifically around season 20. So, like, this build is more focused for this. I'm using a void weapon while also having volatile flow, so that when I pick up the orbs of light, I'm proccing volatile flow, obviously, and then doing some good damage. And then I also have void weapon channeling. You gain a temporary bonus to void damage. This one's kind of just there if you need it. I'm thinking about switching this one off for, instead of this, Bricks from Beyond. Defeating a power from the bat with a void weapon has a chance to generate heavy ammo for you and your teammates. So this can be more heavy. So basically I'm just constantly funding into being the support role that I'm building with this class, where I'm healing, I'm doing good damage, and I'm also supporting my teammates with those heals and with more ammo for them to do more damage against enemies in like master content, GM content, even in raids, just help people get more ammo. Understandably, it's not that difficult in a new raid right now, but you know, other raids it can be sometimes, depending on who you're with, whatever team comps, you know. Now to mods here. Helmet, I'm gonna use Void Siphon, heavy ammo finder, and then heavy ammo scout, so I can just make heavy ammo for myself and then also spawn it for my teammates. For the gloves, heavy handed, so I can spawn in those orbs of light to get the volatile flow cycle running. And then impact induction, or 2 stacks of impact induction, causing damage to the melee attack, reduces your grenade cooldown. Basically, so I'm just spamming my melee, and in case if I'd use my grenade to heal me because I was just like about to die and in like a bad like situation, then I can just try to refund my grenade back so I can use it again if I need it as like a safety mechanic, basically. Chest piece, use whatever you want, man. I think charged up's nice just to have that extra damage bonus, and then I like 2 resist mods. You could use reserves, you could use what you want. That's really up to you. This is what I prefer here, is I just like that extra resist from both concussive and sniper. You could do elements if you want to as well. For boots, I'm rocking triple void weapon surge, just to get that 22% damage increase from infinitely. And when you're just spamming kills with the hammer, you will have that damage boost infinitely. You will always have it up, and your weapons will just absolutely shred everything. Lastly, for class item, I'm using time dilation to give me that extra 5% increase of my armor charges decay, and then also just 2 stacks of bomber, because I'm not really using my class item that frequently, but basically just so I can get some extra grenade energy here and there in case I need it. But now to weapons here. I highly recommend with this build double special. You will not be using a primary very often, and double special also allows you to spawn more heavy ammo more frequently, as well as more special ammo. Get kills while holding these too, since they're special weapons, have a higher chance for heavy. Get kills using the heavy, higher chance of special. It's a fantastic cycle that's probably going to get patched one day, so abuse it while it's here. I would at least. But this is what I prefer. I prefer a hollow denial. You might have a better one than me. I didn't craft it. I was stupid. I don't know why I didn't, but I still had a good surplus killing tally roll that I absolutely love. This thing shreds. Oh, it's fantastic. And then I love my commemoration with it too. Basically just never have to reload this machine gun. It does great damage. Rampage, great perk for it. If you have the new crafted one, which I don't, then it'll probably do even more damage for you, so it'll just be absolutely chunking. But yeah, man, this loadout's absolutely insane. I'll leave some gameplay here at the end so you guys can kind of see. I mean, I feel like most of y'all played Solar Titan before, so you kind of know how this thing is. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.